Welcome back to Java Enjoy. Happy summer. I am living my best life right now, you guys. I am such a summer girl. My birthday is coming up next month. The sun is shining, days are longer, so much vitamin D happening. It just really makes a world of difference. I feel like I have been so productive since the weather got better, getting so much more done every single day. I just feel better. I love summer. I love it so much. Now, do I love 90 something degrees and pure humidity? No, but I'll take that over 11 degrees and 6 inches of snow outside any day. So, loving it, loving it, loving it. So, anyways, today we are going to be talking about why women over 40 need to be strength training. Listen up, ladies. Strength training is not an option for you anymore, okay? I just want to make sure you know that. We have to be doing this. I'm going to explain why. And I think you're going to like this different take on strength training because I think we overthink strength training. We're not talking about long, hard, sweaty sessions here, pumping iron, feeling the burn, doing exhausting boot camps. We're not talking about any of that, okay? And if that's your jam, great. Go for it, girl. Pump that iron, right? But this is more like things that any one of us can do. You don't have to carve out a ton of extra time in your days. This is going to fit right into your life. So that's what we're going to be covering today. But first, I do want to mention we just wrapped up our June Ladies Night in the Joy Circle. So much fun. We did Design Your Dreams Summer. It's like a workshop we did where we basically created like a summer menu of what we wanted our summers to look like. How do we want to feel this summer? How do we want to feel at the end of summer, right? What kind of good habits can we start now while we have more energy and longer days and a little more pep in our step that can spill over and stay as good habits come fall, winter, and beyond. And it was so much fun. So many like unique perspectives there and different ideas of fun activities to do during the summer, things to really take advantage of with those longer days and the warmer temperatures, and just places to visit that we don't necessarily get to visit during the winter. And it was so much fun. Probably my favorite workshop that we've done so far in the Joy Circle. So if you are not a member of the Joy Circle, say circle. If you are in a podcast, you can comment that. If you're on YouTube, comment that. If you're listening on the radio, just go to carlajoywellness.com. And then there's a Joy Circle tab that you can visit there and go get in that group. It is an amazing group of women. We are small but mighty. We're growing. But we have so much fun in there. And it's a very supportive place where you can come and just have a safe place to have women like you who are going through different things, support you, cheer you on, have your back, and just navigate life together. And we set fun goals. We do challenges. We do a ladies' night every single month. And it's just a blast. So come join us over there in the Joy Circle. If you're not there, I don't know what you are doing, but get your booties over to the Joy Circle, okay? As always, let's get settled in, grab our cup of Joe here, our Java, and relax, let go of all the tension that you're holding. This is your you time. Whatever's on your mind, it'll still be there later. Put a pin in it and focus on you right now. So let's have a sip. And I'm using a new organic coffee that's from Market District. Loving that. And let's talk about our joy moment of the week. So my joy moment of the last week was we went and tried a new trail for our long run this week. And it's a paved trail. So when I say trail, I mean a paved trail. Not the woodsiest of girls here. I'm so clumsy and uncoordinated. I have no business running on dirt trails or anything like that. But it was absolutely gorgeous. This really long trail, lots of people there, other runners, walkers, dog walkers, bicyclists. It was just such a nice long run. I'm so used to running around my neighborhood and having to worry about cars and, this or that. It was so nice to just get lost a little more in the run and just listen to a podcast or music, and just enjoy the trail and the trees and the environment of other people. I felt like I charged all my batteries at once. Like I got, my health and wellness in, I got my social battery in, self-care was in there. Like it was so good. And I got to do it with my hubby. So it was time well spent with him. And the fact that I get to do long runs with him now because he's becoming a runner is a blessing. It's like a dream come true, to be honest. So that would be my joy moment of the week. I'm curious, what is your joy moment of the week? Remember, I always encourage you to share your joy moments on all of your social media platforms. Take pictures of whatever it is you're doing. You don't have to be in them if you don't like being on camera, but share them. Share a picture of you at the beach, or share a picture of you at the farmer's market, or whatever it is you're doing. And just show those moments of joy, because there's so much negative on social media. Let's flood it with positive. Let's show the good more than the bad, right? And it's just a reminder to, for each other to enjoy those moments in life that we might take for granted. It's a way to pay for joy in general. And as always, feel free to tag me at Carla Joy Wellness, and I will happily share your posts in my stories and on my social media for even more people to experience that joy. So keep doing that. Love hearing your joy moments of the week. So now let's dive in. Let's talk about strength training for women over 40 and why you have to be doing it, ladies. Okay. First of all, muscle is not about looking toned. Okay. It's about feeling strong and capable and powerful, especially moving into this season of life. So strength training is not something that you should think about doing. It's not about wanting to do it or not wanting to do it. It's literally something you need if you want to be healthy. It's not about looking a certain way. So let's just get that right off the table, okay? We're not trying to reach some unrealistic body standards. We're not currently worrying about what do I look like in a bathing suit or my tank tops or shorts or this is not body image. Has nothing to do with anything like that whatsoever. Of course, there's all those benefits are there for strength training, but that's not what's going to keep you healthy and happy, okay? It's about being strong. It's about the things you deserve. You deserve to have energy, ladies. Whether you're 40, 50, 60, 70, doesn't matter. You deserve to age with power, if that makes sense. And you deserve to feel capable every day of your life. And strength training is one of the best tools that we have for that. It is so underrated. And like I said, the focus is always on like how you look physically. Strength training helps you physically inside more so than outside, because especially after 40, right? We know our hormones are changing. Our metabolism is, crashing out on us. It just naturally declines. Recovery becomes more difficult. Rest becomes more important. And I think sometimes we think the answer to that is like more cardio. We're like, well, if we get more cardio, then I'll lose the weight or I'll have more energy. And listen, I love cardio. Hello, y'all know how much I love running. It's one of the most important things in my life. But I don't do it to be strong. I don't do it to look good in a bathing suit. I don't do it for my metabolism. I don't do it to make up for what I ate. I do it because it makes me feel good, right? And it's good for my cardiovascular system. It's good for my heart and my lungs and even my digestive system, nervous system. It's good for me internally. But it's not necessarily really going to build me any good muscle mass, right? It's not doing that. And the muscle mass helps with things that cardio cannot. The muscle mass is a huge piece of our health puzzle that we have to start focusing on more. And if we want to support our metabolism, our bone health, ladies, this is a huge one, by the way, as we, get into 40 and over, our chances for osteoporosis go up, our joint health declines, we have more issues with balance and stability, and we want to be able to remain as independent as we can during our lives, right? We don't want to end up having to be taken care of. Especially those of us who have been a caretaker, we know what that means, and we don't want to be on the other end of that, right? So by strength training, you are taking the steps you need to not have to be that person that needs the care in the future. Okay, so you're doing all your loved ones a huge favor, as well as yourself, by strength training. Think about things like being able to carry your groceries, your suitcases when you travel, move furniture around your house when you want to rearrange, which, if you're like me, is about every other week. Being able to climb the stairs, get up off the floor when you're down on the floor playing with your kids or your grandkids or your dogs or cats. Those things can sometimes feel like your body is working against you as we age, and that is why we need to strength train. It's so that all those activities don't become harder and harder and harder and harder, to the point where some of them we may not be able to even do anymore because we've neglected that strength training, that muscle mass. Okay, so, and I think when we hear mass, we think bulky. And again, we're not trying to bulk here. We're not trying to look toned, look bulky, none of that. This is literally muscle mass, just means we're increasing the amount of muscle that is on our bodies. And that will in turn boost the metabolism, but more importantly, it will help strengthen your bones, and it will help keep your joints stronger, and it will help you be able to continue to live a normal life with those physical activities longer. Okay, and you don't have to spend 2 hours in a gym, ladies, to make this happen. Okay, we're going to think very small here. We're talking 10 to 20 minutes, 2 to 3 days a week. Okay, and I want you to also, when you hear 10 to 20 minutes, I also want you to realize it doesn't have to be consecutive. We can actually break that down throughout our day and multitask to get it in there, okay? But some of the exercises that you need to be doing is where I want to start first, okay? Doing what's called like compound exercises, like total body movements, those are going to be the biggest bang for your buck, right? So doing like a body weight squat and then like lifting your arms up, doing a lift as you come back out of the squat. I mean, it's like a total body workout, right? Things like planks, even step ups while holding weights. And again, ladies, if you don't have weights and you can't afford weights, freeze 2 bottles of water or just hold 2 bottles of water. Honestly, they don't even have to be frozen. That's still weight. You don't need a fancy weighted vest. You don't need fancy dumbbells. You don't need kettlebells. You don't need any of that. Okay, just FYI. And if you don't even want the water bottles, then just do body weight exercises. Just by doing body weight exercises, you will see benefits from that. Okay, so just remember that simple is perfect. Okay, you don't have to be perfect, just be simple, and that'll be perfect enough. Okay, and you don't have to be lifting heavy, like in general. Okay, so that's kind of what you need to know to get started. All right, and you don't have to know everything about reps and sets and metabolic rates and all this stuff to begin. Okay, don't worry about any of that. All right, this is, like I said, this is very simple for anyone to do. Okay, so I don't want you to think this feels like punishment. This is giving you power, not punishment. Power, ladies. Okay, so stop asking yourself, how can I burn more calories? Instead, say things like, how can I build a stronger body? How can I invest in myself every single day in a healthy way, right? And that mindset's going to change everything for you. Okay, so we're not going to go into this season of life where we're taking things away, or we start to feel invisible or overwhelmed, or we give up on our bodies, we let ourselves go. We're not doing that. We're going to be intentional here. We're going to be more confident, more powerful, and more ourselves. Okay, so you are not too old to start. FYI, I have clients that I work with who are both in their 60s, 70s. I even have a client who is 84 years old and did not start working out until her 80th birthday. I know. That's amazing, is it not? But it's never too late to start, okay? So keep that in mind. And you're not behind, you're not out of shape, you're not too busy. We're just going to start very small things, right? So I want you to literally just pick 2 days of the week: Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, whatever. Pick 2 days, and you're going to do 5 simple moves on each of those 2 days. Just one set of each. Like, you're literally just going to do each 5 different activities. Let's call them activities because it sounds easier than sets and whatever. And that's all you're going to do. You're going to keep it doable, and you're going to celebrate showing up. Because consistency, I'm telling you right now, is going to be intensity. Consistency is the most important thing. So every time you show up for yourself by doing this, ladies, you build trust in yourself, which then builds you more confidence, and it teaches you to choose your future self, and it teaches you to build joy in your life. So consistency is huge, okay? So remember, what this is really about is that strong mind, that strong body, a strong life. So I want you to really ask yourself this week, where can I add a little strength? And this is where I mentioned earlier that 10, 15, 20 minutes doesn't have to be all at once. If you want to just do a 20-minute session, great. That's perfect. Do that 2 days a week. But if you're someone who's like, I don't have 20 minutes straight, that's fine too, because what we're going to do is we're going to fit little things in. So that's why I said I want you to ask yourself, where can I add strength today? On those 2 days that you choose, I want you to think about, where can I add strength into my day? Sprinkle it in throughout the day, those 5 movements. It can be 5 different points during the day. So maybe you do one of those after your morning walk, or your afternoon walk, or your evening walk, or whenever you walk or take a break at work. So think about, that could be where you put in 1 activity or 2 activities, whatever, okay? Maybe you could do one of these activities while you're cooking dinner. Like, maybe you've got everything going and you're just waiting for the oven to beep or that pot to boil, whatever it might be. You could do one there, right? 3, 4, 5 minutes in there. You could literally do squats or one of your activities while you're brewing your morning coffee, waiting for that pot to brew, right? It's moments like that. Maybe you're doing the laundry, you're folding the laundry, you get it all folded, and then right before you move on to the next part of your life, do one of your movements right there, right? So you're just adding a few minutes in there several times a day, and that may feel easier and less overwhelming by doing it that way for some of you, right? And it's definitely a great place to start either way. So if you're like, I don't have 20 minutes consecutively in a day, these are the things you can do. Ladies, you can do squats while you brush your teeth. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is, and here's the tough love, no excuse that you can't have time to strength train. If you brush your teeth, you have time to strength train. If you watch TV at all, you have time to strength train, because you can be doing it while you watch TV. Heck, you probably get your whole 20 minutes in just then, if you have 20 minutes to watch TV. So if you are telling yourself, I don't have time, you are lying to yourself. You have time. Okay? But I am saying that not everybody does watch TV. There's some of us that are so busy, we don't even have time to watch TV. And that's where I say, okay, you don't have to do the whole 20 minutes then at one time. Let's do it while you're brushing the teeth, while you're cooking dinner, so on and so forth. Okay? Because you do have those times. I hope you're brushing your teeth, right? So no excuses on that. All right. I think that we just get in that narrative of, I don't have time, instead of trying to figure out little pockets of time, which is just so much easier than trying to carve out a whole session for a lot of us. Okay. So that's a good place to start. So start small, start simple, but start now. Okay. Women over 40, we don't need to do less. We just need to train smarter. We need to fuel better. We need to recover better. And we need to stop believing that our best years are behind us, ladies. If you keep telling yourself that, it will be reality. If you keep telling yourself, I'm getting weaker, I'm getting whatever, it's going to be true. But if you tell yourself, I'm getting stronger, I am aging gracefully, I am becoming a perfect version of myself, I'm living my best life, that's what your reality is going to be. And it's the same thing with just actual strength training. If you say, I don't have time, and you're stuck in that, that's where you're going to be stuck. So you do have time. Just tell yourself every day, I have time. I have time to brush my teeth. I have time to watch a show. I have time to cook dinner. I have time to, so on and so on, and get that stuff in. Okay. So this can be your strongest era, ladies. Not your weakest, your strongest era yet. Okay. So again, I'll say this one more time for those of you in the back. I want you to start small, start simple, but start now. 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you have it, 2 days a week. Break it up if you need to. Get that strength training in. And ladies, I'm telling you, it's going to help with that bone mass. It's keeping your bones strong so we don't end up with osteoporosis or weak bones where we end up breaking things like hips and knees and Lord knows what else that can lead to so many other medical issues. And it is also going to keep your joints and everything stronger to allow you to continue to be able to take care of yourself, most importantly, and also those you love and the people around you. So if your loved one gets sick or someone needs your care or a friend, family member, whoever, you'll be able to care for them because you're so strong enough to do so. So you taking care of you indirectly takes care of everyone else around you as well. So if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for everybody else in your life. Okay. So that you can be the care provider, the caretaker for as long as possible. And so that you don't have to become the one who needs the care. Right. So you don't have to be in that position. Okay. So again, start small, start simple, but start now. Sound good? All right. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this really made you realize like why you need strength training from a whole different perspective of I want to look strong to a perspective of I need this to take care of myself. I need this for future me. Okay. So I hope that shifted that mindset. So strength training has a different ring to it when you hear that from now on. Okay, so let's take one last sip of our Java. Oh, that's good. Maybe 2 sips. And let's shift our mindset back into our days now. As always, thank you for joining me on another episode of Java and Joy. I hope this conversation poured a little joy into your day. If this episode helped you, please share it with a friend who also needs to hear this. If you could leave me a review, it helps me out so much. It costs you nothing except about 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute of your time. And it helps me be able to continue to bring you these free episodes in the future. It helps me reach more women. So pay that joy forward if you could with just a very small piece of your time and leave me a review. It really, really means the world when you guys support me. It truly does. So go spread that joy. Like I said before, come join us in the Joy Circle. If you need a deeper dive, you need more information on coaching, you need more accountability, support, whatever it might be, go to carlajoywellness.com or visit my show notes if you're on YouTube or podcast. Check out all my coaching stuff there. Come find me on social media everywhere at Carla Joy Wellness. That's Carla with a K everywhere, by the way. But that's all I got for you guys. So until next time, keep finding your joy one sip at a time.